Welcome to Goof On, everybody. I'm your host, Rich Giordano, and it is April 21st, 2021. It's 24/21/21/21. And it is a great day. It is Hump Day, Wednesday, right in the middle of the work week for you. So I understand. I know what it's like. Believe me, every day is a work day and every day is a fun day here at Goof On. Yes, I'm doing the monkey itch because it is dry in Arizona and I'm sick of it. Can't wait to get to Florida, less than 2 weeks away. Nonetheless, got some interesting things happening later, halfway through this interview. I am going to play something that is of great interest to everybody in the community and everybody all around the world. You are going to love it. You might have already noticed. It's already been out there. It just dropped about 30 minutes ago. So, yeah, it's going to be good. Got a good surprise coming up. But we do have one of the greatest friends of Goof On ever, Gores and Scares, the king of horror, as I like to call him. William Pattison is on the show. Eric Morse is here, and he is going to, if I could only speak, I have so many things I want to say, but we're going to have a good time tonight. You know Eric, you've seen him around before, a.k.a. William Pattison. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
Gore and Scares, everybody.
So you're back. It's been about a good year since you were here.
Yeah.
The old computer. I remember the old computer and all that stuff. And yeah, man, it's a whole different world now. And even I can tell on your end, you got great video now. The lighting's perfect. I can see a little grin.
I've learned how to set it up a little bit better.
Well, really,
$700 computer, Dell.
Adele, yeah, that's what I had before. I had
$700.
Well, that was weird. I just heard. Did you hear the echo?
Yeah, I heard me being called back.
Yeah, that was bizarre. It's gone, but that's YouTube and computers. But you know who you are. A lot of people here know who you are. But you wrote the Camp Crystal Lake novel series for, what is it, Berkley Books, published 93, 94. They include the novels Mother's Day, Jason's Curse, The Carnival, and Road Trip. I'm just reading off your thing here. The fifth Camp Crystal Lake novel, The Mask of Jason Voorhees, which, what does this say? Which he web published for his fans?
Yeah.
He actually did
published it for free.
You actually did that. Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I wanted to do at least one book where I had complete control. When I was working with Berkley Books, they kept editing me. And, they cut back the kills and everything. And
that kind of editing.
Yeah, it was rough. But with Mask of Jason Voorhees, I had free reign, and I've been hearing from fans about it that this is one of the best Friday the 13th novels ever written.
Yeah, I believe that. That's awesome. And how are things going for you generally? Pretty good?
Pretty good. I've expanded my range on stuff. I'm now doing voiceovers and
get out of here, really?
audiobooks.
Wow, how cool.
Yeah. Audiobooks on my own work. And, I did an audiobook for my protege, Christopher Hyland. He wanted me to do one of his stories, which was called Fun and Funeral. So it was literally a monologue of a dead guy complaining about his funeral, and then he comes back to life and he gets revenge on his wife.
Nice. Wait a minute. Why?
Oh, because he didn't want a funeral. And
okay.
He was happy as hell to die because he wanted to get away from her because she was a shrew.
How did you deal with with this horrible China thing that happened over the last year? Were you coping with that? Did it hold you back any?
You mean the beer curse?
Yeah, the beer curse. Don't say it, but you know what I mean. C19.
I know it. We don't talk about that.
Yeah. No, so how'd you manage through that?
I was fine because the thing was, at the time I've actually been working as an in-home care person for my sister. So usually I don't go out. I'm mostly a homebody, and I like hanging out at home. I mean, once in a while I like going out, but I'd be careful, just put on my mask and stuff, and keep safe. Now I'm fine because I got both my inoculations, so I'm good.
Did you get any side effects from it, like feel sick or tired?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That's not what I want to hear, man.
48 hours, with Moderna. Now my sister, she also got inoculated, but she had no effects at all. With me, my arm was aflame, my muscles were hurting, I had pounding headache and that for 48 hours, and then I was fine.
That stinks. You see, I haven't taken it, and I'm going to try not to as long as humanly possible. I think I actually caught it. That's back in January. My sister had this wedding right in the middle of the whole thing. She's got to have a wedding in December 27th, right in the middle of a scandemic, So my mother caught it, my father caught it, my nephew caught it, and I think I caught it because I was sick. I found out the same week they were sick, and I even took a day off from doing the show because I was so out of it. So I figured, well, I don't know. I never went to the hospital. I never got a check, never went to the doctor to check, see if I had any of the antibodies, whatever. So I don't know if I caught it, but it seemed like I did. I probably did. If they caught it, I probably caught it. But I'm glad you're okay. You're inoculated.
Whoa. I'm wonderful. When the pandemic happened, it's amusing. The moment the pandemic hit, about a week after, I ended up being inspired to write a COVID-based horror comedy story.
Oh my God, that's
in the Fashionable Demon.
Wait, what? What was it?
Fashion and the Fashionable Demon.
Okay.
It's a sequel to my first main story in Symphony of Death, Robert Diablo. And Robert is back in this, the demon from hell, and he's torturing the main character from the last story, his twin sisters. And he accidentally appears before them, and they decide, well, they're social fanatics, and because they're locked down, they can't go to parties and stuff, and they're losing their social status.
Yeah.
So they decide they're going to blow up ViewTube. I don't call it YouTube in the story. I call it YouTube. But invite all their social people and do a makeover on a demon from hell. So they go and they try to give Robert a makeover, but
wait, what kind of makeover?
New
Turn him into what?
New clothes, gave him a bath.
Oh my God.
Dined him up, perfumed him up.
You know that really is happening in Hollywood anyway. You know that's happening to some people there.
Oh, yeah.
I would imagine the Kardashians have had their run at a few makeovers during the scandemic.
Yeah, well, Robert, after they give him his makeover, he does his own style makeover on them.
Oh, sweet.
So it is funny as hell watching it. I'll after the show, I'll send you a copy of it. I also did. Well, the thing is that Fashion and the Fashionable Demon was my first audiobook. So I've got an audiobook of Fashion and the Fashionable Demon. It's free and it's on YouTube.
But you're the one speaking, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I like that.
I do all the voices. I do the girls' voices. Oh my God. And I do the demon. My name is Robert Diablo from hell.
That's awesome. See, I love it. I wish more people who did audiobooks did the voices for a lot of the people. Artie Lang did. He was one of the first to do it as one of the stars in Hollywood, whatever. He did it in his books in his voice. It was awesome. It's like you're getting the real story from the actual person who wrote it.
Nice.
No, you. I mean, you too. I mean, that's what's awesome about it. You know the characters well. You could play them perfectly.
Oh, yeah. Recently, I also redid Robert Diablo, and I did all the voices and stuff.
How long did it take you to do, though? Fashionable
Demon, it took me 3 weeks, 4 hours a night.
How many pages is it if I was to just read it?
To read it, it's about 46 pages.
Wow. So you put in a lot of time.
Yeah, I did, but it was well worth it. And then I put music in it, sound effects, because the thing is that Robert tortures the twin girls' dog too. They've got a little Pekingese dog that they've dyed pink, and this dog hates Robert. And the thing is, it keeps getting him when he's mid-transition. When he appears, the dog attacks him, and he gets electrocuted and shot across the room. But of course,
he just goes flying like, bing, like a cartoon character. Yeah.
But what's even more funny is that he can see Robert when he's invisible. And the reason why Robert ends up having to appear is because the damn dog attacks him and locks on his nose.
Okay.
So you see this Pekingese, fighting in the air, going like this.
He's shaking his head and he's all getting whipped around.
Yeah.
Fighting, holding onto his nose. Have you ever thought about, making these into movies or something like Creepshow?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my intention. Is if I've got plans for the series that I'm working on, Symphony of Death. I want to make the epic horror anthology film, something that would even blow away Creepshow.
Wow.
And the thing is that what I want to do is I want to do 2 movies, but they're half and half of what would eventually be a 6-hour movie.
Damn.
With 12 stories.
That's cool. So it would be just every week.
13 stories, because I'm going to add a bonus story, which is Fashion and Fashionable Demon.
We have a whole new audience here since the last time you were on. You know, we've grown leaps and bounds. So I'm going to ask you some things that I already know and we've talked about in the past, but since you've been on, haven't been on in a while. Okay. So you're doing horror and you do it well and you have followers and you have people who hate you and all this other stuff. But we'll get to that. But when you got into this, how old were you? Like, were you 7, 8 years old when you started writing these things, or as long as you can remember? How'd you get into it?
I've always been a storyteller, and I've always been a person who dramatizes. You know, when I was a kid, because of the area that we lived in, you know, my family, when my mom had me, they were actually planning to retire. And so they went to the part of town where it was all retirees and stuff. And so there was only probably about 2 kids in the entire area.
Okay.
So I had to entertain myself. And the thing is that when I got into school, because of the fact that I wasn't around all these other kids, they pretty much treated me like a pariah and rejected me. So all through kindergarten and stuff, I didn't have any friends. I ended up getting one friend from way over on the other side of town. But, you know, it was hard. It was hard, and, you know, kids treated me like crap. I remember one particular incident that was terrible. The thing was that when I was in kindergarten, halfway through, I ended up having to leave for a little while, and I had an operation that went bad, and I ended up with an open wound.
25 to 150 million Americans.
And
I don't know why that started. Don't ask me why
no
that started.
problem. But anyways, the thing was, so you can imagine with an open wound, it stinks and stuff. And my mother had to give me baths 3 times a day. So I'd have to leave school, go take a bath, and come back. Well, anyways, the kids decided that they wanted to to treat me, really show me how much they felt for me. So what they did is they ganged up on me and threw me in a ball box that they had out in the playground, and they locked me in there. And the teacher didn't notice for about an hour and a half.
Holy crap.
And this was just before summer, and it was hot. So I'm sitting there crying and stuff, and she goes, "Where's William? Where's William?" And one of the kids goes, "Out there." And so she got me out of there. But yeah, I mean, it's you know, I've always had to deal with people treating me like crap.
Bullies.
But what it did was that because I wasn't able to be really heavily socialized, I cultured my imagination. And my mom, she was a big horror fan.
That's cool.
She was from the 1930s, and
wow,
when the original James Whale's Frankenstein came out, she went the entire first week. Every night she went to see Frankenstein. And it got her into horror films, and she kept watching horror films. And when she had me, she cultured me in horror films. And so we would go to the movies, and we had a horror host show in the Bay Area called Creature Features, and I would watch that every Saturday. Double feature movies
for a quarter, something like that.
So I watched all these films. I mean, I've watched Honestly, I could say I've watched an entire blockbuster full of films.
I bet.
Yeah.
Every week, yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
a nice escape from the asses out in the world.
Exactly.
So as a young kid, this was already cultivating inside of you, and your imagination, obviously with your mom's help, kind of made you who you are. It's kind of cool.
I mean,
It
we
sucks
watched
that
Dark Shadows and stuff like that.
Did you have you internalized a lot of hate then for these people, I would imagine, right?
Not so much hate, but what it was disappointment. I was disappointed because the first time the kids rejected me, what it was I was in kindergarten, and it was like my second day in kindergarten, and these 3 kids come walking up to me, and they look at me, and they say, "Should we play with him?"
Mm-hmm.
And then they looked at, and they decided, no, they're not going to play with me, and they'll tell the other kids not to play with me. And that was the start of it.
Why do you think that happened, though? What made you stand out like that? Why were you different? They would pick on you?
Because of the fact that all these kids had gone to preschool. I did not go to preschool.
So you were like the new kid on the block.
I was the new kid on the block. I was actually a lot more intelligent than these kids, too. So that made me stand out, too, because I had an incredible general knowledge and stuff. Before my operation went bad, and the doctors went and prescribed me to take baths in physahedrine, I would have been one of these real super smart kids, but it caused damage to my metabolism. It caused problems with learning. It messed me up, and I couldn't keep going in school. Turns out, you were talking about when did I start writing? It was actually midway through high school because I had trouble writing and I had trouble reading. All through school, I was way behind the other kids.
Is that because of the baiting? Yeah. What is that stuff anyway?
People know it now as Physoderm.
That's Physoderm?
Physoderm.
Wow.
And the thing is that they specifically say now, not for internal use, not for open wounds.
Okay.
Because the thing is that they found out, because they were using it to clean out open wounds, like big open wounds, they found out that it caused these problems.
Man. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's sad in a way. So there's this huge recipe that's being, put together to make you who you are as a young person at 6, 7 years old. That's amazing that, even back then, I remember being in first grade and getting bullied. And I'm like, what did I do to deserve that? I can imagine, that happened to you too, but it's really weird when you leave your home, your sanctuary, and you go out into this world where there are these mean kids. It could change you forever. And it did, it does.
And what was funny is that I had an issue. I couldn't defend myself, but I could defend other people. So when these ones were going after other people, I would defend them. And that led to a situation where I actually ended up scarring one kid.
Oh.
Yeah. He was a second grader. He and his friends decided to jump the fence and go in the kindergarten section and pick on the little kids. They thought it was funny. and they were pushing the kids down and stuff, and I stood up. I grabbed a piece of tar, a heavy, hard piece of tar, and I said, you get out of here, or I'm going to hit you right in the face with this tar. And the kid laughed at me, and I did it. I hit him right in the hairline, cut his head, and blood just started rushing down his face.
Was it hot, or I don't understand? Tar? Where did?
The thing is that the yard where the kindergarten was, it was a tar thing. It was almost like a road deal.
Okay, yeah.
And some of the tar had broken loose.
Oh, I see. Okay. It
was like a rock.
Yeah. Hey, is there flashing going on at your place?
Oh, that's normal during this time of the day. It does that.
What is it?
I kind of use it in my show for like lightning and stuff.
Yeah, but what is it though?
It's the sun reflecting off of cars that are passing.
It'll stop though, right? Once the sun goes down?
Periodically it does.
Well, it seems like it's on this like beep, 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 and then it stops, and it's more cars, and
more.
I thought it was.
We're a busy street.
I want to thank Mervyn Pervin for the $10 super sticker. Thank you very much for that super support. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Mervyn.
Yep. Really cool. Super generoso.
Oh, I brought my buddy John here.
John looks good.
John is named after one of the horror hosts of Creature Features, and that's John Stanley. And amazingly enough, John Stanley authorized John, and God dang.
I know, right?
He signed the back of him.
Is that a real skull? Or is it a real? No, it's not real, is it?
No, it's resin.
Okay.
But it's heavy duty resin. It feels almost like bone. It's very weird. I mean, believe it or not, I got this at Spirit Halloween years ago. About 25 years ago.
Okay.
And I used it on my Halloween display. And when I started doing Bloodbath Theater, which is my horror host show, that's something we didn't mention to everybody, is that I host my own movie. I host horror movies and stuff. So I'm a horror host.
What is it? What is it called again? The Bloodbath what?
William Pattison's Bloodbath Theater.
Yeah, see, people are saying, Rich, can you ask him to adjust the lighting? It's causing a concerning strobe effect. Yeah, we just talked about it. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that?
Well, it's stopped now.
Yeah, because there's no traffic going by, probably.
Yeah, I don't, there's not much I can do on my side.
Oh, okay. What is it? It comes through a sunlight, or the sunroof, or something like that?
Well, I've got a window behind me, believe it or not. Yeah, I see that. And what it does is it hits the light bulb when they pass, and I have those new bulbs. They're 13-year bulbs.
Yeah.
And for some reason they do that. When I used to use regular light bulbs, it didn't do that.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess once the sun goes down, it'll stop, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you just caught me at the time when the sun's going down, and
yeah, let's Rich Christie's saying, what dimension did I just project into? Yeah.
I know.
Can't you close the blinds?
No, I have the blinds closed. Believe it or not, it sneaks through the blinds.
Okay. It's slowing down a little bit here and there. It is kind of frustrating in a way, because
I know. That's, and the thing is that when I do Bloodbath Theater, I have zero budget, so I consider this my lightning.
But I don't see how that it's coming through the blinds. They look like they're open, but we're at a lower angle looking up into them. I don't see how that's possible. It's really tripping me out.
Yeah, it's just weird. I've never been able to correct it. I mean, I've actually ended up at one point. I put cardboard in the windows. I've put sheets.
That had to help.
It helped, but it didn't actually change it.
Don't say that. That's impossible. Then it's something else, man. It's got to be something else.
Well, I live in a haunted house. I don't know. Maybe it's ghosts playing around with the...
No, there's something else. You have a strobe on somewhere.
No, I don't have a strobe. That's amazing. I always wanted a strobe, but I've never actually had a strobe.
I don't get it. I really don't get it. I really don't. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut into your time, but it is
no problem. No problem at all.
It's a strange anomaly.
It makes it more interesting. Because then you don't have just the my life story.
Wait, are you? I bet you have one of those lightning things that goes off. You have it, and you're blaming it on outside interference.
Lightning thing.
You have one of those lightning towers that flashes like you have lightning.
No.
Because the sun is generally down. I mean, you shouldn't have any beams of light reflecting off a car.
I know. It's weird. It really is. It's weird. I've never been able to figure this out. I've tried all kinds of different stuff, and then I just said, okay, to hell with it. I'm a horror host, whatever. I'll let it happen. And it, I don't know. Anyway,
yeah. So anyway, you're going through, as a young child, you're facing the realities of other people in your life that aren't family being mean to you.
Yeah, and the thing is that one major thing that happened was that when I left for high school, when I went to middle school, it was in middle school. The thing is that my best friend from elementary school, he ended up killing himself.
Oh.
What had happened was that we were transferred to different schools because we had two middle schools in San Mateo. He went to Turnbull, I went to Burrell Middle School. And the thing is that the people who tortured him, he was tortured on a daily basis. He kind of reminds me of me now with the cyber stalkers. He had two people who used to beat him up on a daily basis, and I'd have to protect him. And the thing was that we got transferred. He lasted 6 months, and then he ended up gassing himself. He stuck his head in his dad's oven and gassed himself.
Wait, what? How do you do that without falling out and falling over? That doesn't make sense.
I don't know, but that's what the father told me. That his son Mike, he found him laying out of the halfway out of the stove. He'd put a blanket over him so that he'd be gassed.
That's awful.
Yeah. And the thing was that years later, when I was working at Mervyn's department store, I ended up losing my job because his bullies came in, they recognized me, and they started talking shit about my friend Mike. And it was like, they didn't feel bad that they had tortured him to the point where he killed himself. They just said that he was a weakling, and you know, it's good that the world was, you know, got rid of him. And so I ended up getting in a fight with these two guys and ended up throwing one through a glass door. And I lost my job.
Yeah.
I also spent a couple of hours in the police station.
In the Hooskow. Yeah.
That
sucks.
What ended up happening, though, is that I didn't get charged. Because I told them my story and what happened, and they said, "Oh no, you're not going. No, these guys should be going to jail for murder."
Yeah. So that's why your friend did that, because of the bullying and stuff.
Yeah, and
That
the thing was that it affected me horribly. I ended up spending 2 years with a sociologist to try to deal with it, because I was having nightmares and stuff and afraid to go to school, you know, and it just hit me hard.
Man.
And years later, you know, I ended up having to really dig into all this when I was working on my novel Psychotic State. I had to bring out all these demons because my main character in that is a person who's been tortured all of his life by his peers, and he gets revenge on them. He pretty much takes out half the graduating class who come for a reunion. He just
Carrie type of Carrie thing.
Yeah, he invites them to a party, and the thing is that he's encircled the party area with explosives made from
body parts.
No, it was plant food.
Plant food.
Yeah, you can turn plant food into.
Well, I know you can use mulch, right, or something like that. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, and so he set up explosives around there, and he ends up he's got 100 of them, and he goes and starts massacring them with a gun.
Oh my God!
It's blowing people away, and they try to get away, and explosives come up.
So everywhere they try to leave, something blows up, kind of like in Poltergeist when they were trying to leave the house and the caskets come out of the ground.
Yeah, something like that. And he was using a gun, and he was using a knife, and he killed everybody. And then the thing is that he took the bodies, piled them up to form a word, and it was F-U.
My God. So I can imagine these stories coming from within somebody who's been harassed as a kid. And people think like this. A lot of us think, well, I hate my boss. I would like to cut their brakes and, wish them luck or things like that. Is that where these come from for you? Are these like things you would wish you could do to these people? I guess so, right?
It's actually a standard thing with people who've been bullied all their life.
Yeah.
They want revenge, and they can't get it. And society sits there and says, "Oh, well, man up! Oh, them torturing you didn't mean anything. It made a man out of you or something, or
right.
Or you're just a geek. You don't deserve pity. You're just a wimp in that." So the thing is that people like me, that's one of our big things. And my co-host on my podcast, Derek Young, he came to me with a 52-page script for a movie he was doing called Psychotic State, and he asked me to do the novelization. Well, I started reading his script, and it was a mess. So I told him, I said, Derek, if you want me to do this, you're going to have to give me leeway and let me re-envision this story and make it, make it my.
Was it just boring or not bloody or not smart? What was wrong with it?
The scenes didn't work. There were characters that went nowhere. It was a mess.
Just thrown together.
My friend Derek, as good of a filmmaker as he is, he doesn't write scenes. What he does is he makes the actors come up with the scenes and stuff. So there was huge holes in this. So what I did is I took his 52 pages, I started developing it, moving some scenes around, changing other scenes, adding in between scenes and stuff. And I created this novel that you read it and you're hooked. You're hooked from one end to the other. You don't want to stop reading it. And if you're a person who's been bullied, it's therapy for them. They read it and they feel better. I get nothing but messages from these people saying, I was just tortured, in my youth, and even as an adult, and I read your novel and it felt like a huge weight was taken off my chest. And the thing is that I don't write this character as a villain. I show both the good and the bad side of the character. So it's this story about this guy named David Coleman, and one side he's helping the town. He's helping bring the town together. He's helping out the strip club in the town.
Just a regular guy, yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, he got money from his stepfather. His stepfather was making deals and stuff and hoarding money, and so he uses it to help the strip club become part of the community and stuff. He actually even opens a restaurant right next to the strip club and uses some of the strippers for waitresses and stuff during their off times.
Let me ask you this, and because we're not doing 3-hour shows like we used to, I just want to ask you some things I'm really curious about.
Sure.
Why I hate horror movies nowadays. What is the problem with them?
Very simple. Horror movies nowadays, the majority of horror movies are written by people who think that the only horror movies that have ever been were in the 80s, and they were called Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and that.
Yeah. And
the way that those films were written, they were written by former porno directors.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No wonder why there was a lot of sex and stuff like that in all those movies. They always had to have the breast shots and all of them. Yeah.
And the thing is that their way of doing things does not develop characters. So the thing is that what happens is that these filmmakers, they think, oh, well, this is the way that you do a horror film. They don't think that horror film is wider range than what they... So for years, we ended up with Friday the 13th ripoffs and slasher films and that. And it was the same thing over and over again, but they were basically taking the same characters and just using using different people to play the same characters. And when I came back into horror, I used to get into horrible arguments with filmmakers because they said that character development isn't important. Plot isn't important. The only thing that's important in a horror film is murder and blood and gore.
Yeah.
And the thing is that what ended up happening is they showed so much blood and gore that people got bored with it. They got
desensitized
with it. Desensitized.
Yeah.
So when I write a story and I write, like help on a screenplay, what I bring into it is I bring in development, I bring in characters, I bring in tension, because the thing is that these filmmakers, for the longest time, when the horror socials were in control of horror, there was no tension. It was all jump cuts, and the thing
you didn't care about people.
Yeah, you didn't care about people, and these ones, all they did is they put in a lot of jump cuts, and the thing is that they did jump cuts wrong. Because I know your favorite slasher film of all time, Rich.
The Exorcist. It's not a slasher film,
no,
I guess, but that's my favorite scare.
Halloween.
Huh?
Halloween.
Yeah, that's the original the first two.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, in Halloween, they have the perfect jump cut. Because the thing is that the music doesn't rise. The thing is that why these things do not work is because there's no tension.
Right.
In Halloween, there was no music during that jump cut. It was just, okay, you have the doctor, he's looking over the bushes, and all of a sudden the sheriff walks into the shot, and Loomis jumps. No music.
Yeah,
no
right.
setup. And people just jumped out of their seats and they cringed. If you can do that in a film, and if you can bring them characters, real characters, not just people to hate, but people to enjoy, people to worry about, then you've got it. You can make a good horror film. And people went by the rules that were put in Scream.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to fight with them on that too. Because I said there are no rules in horror. And the thing is that eventually you had people who started going against the rules, going against the stuff. You started having a slight advancement, which were the POV films. Because in a POV film, you don't see the horror. The horror's in the background. Your tension, it's nothing but tension. And if a filmmaker does a really good one, there's this one film that you should check out. It's called Army of Frankensteins.
What is it?
I think it was
Frankenstein's
Army. And what it is a POV film about these Russians who end up finding Dr. Frankenstein, and he's creating super soldiers, and he's slowly turning these guys into super soldiers. But it looks like portions of it looks like a POV shooter in it, but it's all these things coming out and coming at you and stuff. And it had some good character work and stuff too. And, I mean, as much as some people hate The Conjuring or Insidious for the fact that they're PG-13 horror films, the fact is that they have some punch to them because the directors knew how to scare you from the background.
Yeah. Which is, I appreciate that. I didn't think those movies were too bad. The Ring was pretty good.
Yeah, the Ring. Well,
what was the one where they had to watch is that it? The videotape 7 days later they die? That's the Ring?
That was the Ring. The Ring, which was, I liked the American version, but I really liked the Japanese version, Ringu.
I never seen it.
Oh, well, if you ever get a chance.
Isn't that where it originated from?
Yeah. Yeah, they had Ringu, and then they did the Ring, just like they had, God, I can't remember how to pronounce The Grudge in Japanese, but...
Oh, yeah. That was good.
And the thing is that The Grudge and Ringu, they were huge franchises in Japan. They even had television series based on Ringu and The Grudge.
I've never. Yeah, no. I'm sure they're all, with what do you call it? But they have the writing in it. What is it? Not closed caption. Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're all subs.
They're all subs. Yeah. What was the first thing you ever wrote? No, let me scratch that. What was the first thing that you wrote that made you money?
First thing that I
was
wrote
successful, yeah.
First thing that I wrote that made me money was actually the Camp Crystal Lake novels.
Okay.
Yeah, because the thing is, I was working on my first novel at the time. It actually ended up taking me 20 years to finish the damn.
Oh my God! Why?
For some reason, stuff kept happening. It was like this novel was cursed. And every time I got within 4 chapters of finishing it, some disaster would happen and I'd lose all my copies of the book and have to start over. So I started over 5 times. And it's amazing because I just decided I'm going to finish this book. I'm not going to let it. So it's like I ended up finishing the book in 2005 and actually ended up getting it published finally in 2014.
Oh my God. That must have been extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't see how something could take so long. That would suck.
Believe it or not, Stephen King's first book, The Dark Tower, the Gunslinger, took 20 years to write.
That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Stephen King wrote it when he started teaching, and he just grabbed some yellow paper from the school and started handwriting it. And it took him 20 years. He finally got it published. He got it published after he did Carrie. And then, of course, they did Salem's Lot and then The Shining and that. And, it took him years to finish the Dark Tower series.
But for your Camp Crystal, right? Is that that's what it is? I keep saying
Camp Crystal Lake novels, they were the first ones that I made money off of.
And for people who don't know, what are they about? I know, but
they take place after the movie Jason Goes to Hell. And the thing is that Berkley Books didn't want me to bring Jason in. You know, they had a deal with New Line Cinema, and New Line Cinema owned Jason, but he didn't really own Friday the 13th.
Okay.
But
he is Friday the 13th.
Yeah. And the thing is that so they hired me because I knew, you know, because I proved that I knew all this information about Friday the 13th. I'd watched the film so much and I really liked Adam Marcus's Jason Goes to Hell, even though a lot of Friday the 13th fans didn't like it. So I started my book out from there, and I went forward, and what happens is, you know, at the end of Jason Goes to Hell, Jason's pulled down into the ground, and the only thing that's left is his hockey mask, and then Freddy's glove comes up and grabs it and pulls it under.
Yeah. That was just...
And it's in the yard of the Voorhees house. Well, in my first book, Mother's Day, a hunter is out in the woods hunting, and he finds a box that Jason had hid there, and there was a secret thing in there. I'm not going to tell anybody because you have to either listen to the audiobook or to find out what's in the box. But this thing leads him to the Voorhees house, and he digs up Jason's mask and puts it on, and he becomes the killer. And so he starts killing people.
Did it possess him?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It possessed him, and then the box led him around. And so what I ended up doing is I did Jason's Curse, which, you know, after the hunter gets defeated, you have this mentally retarded man who's 40 years old, and he's lost his leg, you know, and he's kind of like a little kid in his head, and he goes fishing, and he brings up Jason's mask, and he puts it on, and he starts killing people.
And you wrote all this?
Yeah, and I wrote all this.
That's pretty good, actually.
And I wrote it all within a year. 4 books.
Right.
Because Berkley Books told me, oh, no, you know, your contract. Well, they didn't actually tell me. I didn't find out until I was 3 months into the project. Oh, you got to finish all the books and have them ready for print.
Yeah, before
in 1
anything.
year. So I went through hell.
Damn.
I ended up, I had to stop looking for work because I'd been fired from Kmart. Not going to go into that.
All right.
But anyways.
You're fighting some bullies. Bullies came in, you got in a fight, threw them through glass.
No, I had
a
psycho female.
Oh, well.
Who got me fired. But
Sorry
anyway.
to hear that. Yep.
So the thing is that I had to write these things in a year. And so, you know, you have the big red character, and then you have the next book, you have a carny, because it's a carnival that comes to Camp Crystal Lake. But the thing is that they can't park in the town, you know, set up in the town.
Right.
So they get a deal and they set up at the campground, the abandoned campground of Camp Crystal Lake. And their carny and his dog get possessed by Jason Voorhees, and he starts killing people. And then the rides start going nuts.
What does the dog do?
Oh, he eats people.
Nice.
Yeah, he's one of those big 150-pound dogs.
Okay.
Black ones. You know, like from The Omen.
Oh, Dobermans. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, and the rides become dangerous, and then even the waxworks figure in the wax museum that they have set up, they come to life.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I'd like to see it. Yeah,
I'd like to do. I did my books a lot differently. I didn't do them straight Friday the 13th. I brought in some classic horror to it, and I made even the forest a character in the story, and it was just the forest was scary. And in the final book, this is one that a lot of people really like. It's about the mascot, the little wimpy mascot. You probably know him there, Rich, in your school. The wimpy mascot that had to wear the costume.
Yeah, of course.
And got picked on by the jocks and everything. He gets the mask.
Oh my
Buzzy the Bee gets the mask, and he starts killing people to get revenge.
It's all about killing people who... Now, were they just killing regular people or bullies, or what was the rhyme and reason to it all?
There was different reasons. In the case of Buzzy, he was killing the entire football team from the next town over from Camp Crystal Lake.
The competitors,
the
rivals.
Yeah, and they got stuck at Camp Crystal Lake and found the mask, and then you get into the final book, my massive epic conclusion. And what I do is I do something that I wanted to do. I did a crossover, because everyone remembers Friday the 13th, the series, with Ryan and Mickey and Marshak and Rashid, and the cursed objects and stuff. So they come back and they're going after Jason, and they learn the secret of Jason's past, how he got brought back to life. I create a continuity in this one book that everything in Friday the 13th is explained. And you see the future and what happens to Jason.
Wow.
And what ending to him and everything.
Is he done with now? Because they're not going to make any more movies with him, are they?
They're planning on another one.
Come on, man.
The problem is that the guy who wrote Friday the 13th, my dear friend Victor Miller, he went to court to try to get his rights back, because he lost his rights.
But who cares at this point, man? I'm so done with Jason and Freddy and all that shit. There's got to be more characters out there somebody can create.
Oh, we're getting them all the time. I mean, we've got
like who?
The Terrifier, who is this clown.
Never heard of him.
Oh my God, you gotta see Terrifier. That is incredible.
I'll be honest with you. I hate everything that's new. I don't like any of these horror movies at all. They're not good.
Oh, you don't like the Conjuring in that?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was, I don't know. It could have been better. The first one was good. That's all you needed. They didn't need to make 2 and 3. I don't know. I got bored with it.
Well, they haven't actually done 3 yet on the con.
I thought they did part 3 already.
No.
The Conjuring.
The next one's coming out next year.
Are you sure?
Conjuring 3.
What am I thinking about?
Talking about Insidious.
Oh, maybe I am. Okay.
Because
here it is. The Conjuring.
Out 5. Insidious 5 now.
The Conjuring 3, 2020. I knew it came out.
Well, actually, it didn't come out.
No?
Nope.
They put it on hold.
They put it on hold because of COVID.
Damn it. Oh, wow. That sucks. So maybe I saw it was going to come out and it never did. Yeah. I thought I saw it, actually, to be honest with you.
Most of the ones that they had, I mean, it's like Insidious 5 was supposed to come out last year and it didn't.
That wasn't a bad movie. The first couple were good.
Yeah, I liked them okay.
Isn't that the one?
Was okay.
What's the one where the kids see it in a movie on a film and then it becomes reality? Is that Insidious?
No.
You know which one I'm talking about, though?
Yeah,
it's like this. I can't explain it. It had to do with hanging bodies on a tree. They hung these, and then people moved into the house, and there was a film that the father found.
Oh, that's Sinister.
Okay, that sounds about right.
That's the one. Once you started to tell me, that was Sinister. Yeah,
it wasn't bad. I thought that was pretty clever. Yeah, I liked the ending of that.
Very psychological.
Yeah,
I liked Sinister 1 more than I liked Sinister 2.
The original was good. Yeah,
and then of course, you've got one that only had two films. Chrome Skull.
Never heard of it.
Oh, well, you need to check that one out.
Chrome Skull?
Yeah, Chrome Skull.
Okay. Wait, are you saying Crumb? CRUMB?
Chrome as in the metal.
Okay. Chrome Skull. All right. That's wild. Never heard of it. What is that about?
It's a killer. It's a killer, but he has assistants. He's a rich man who's a killer, and he chooses people to kill, and he stalks them.
That came out in 2011. I just saw part 2.
Yeah,
so it's old.
Yeah, it's fairly old, but it's one of the newer ones. Let me see. What's another one?
Well, while you're doing that, I want to watch this premiere. I want to see what this preview looks like of Chrome Skull. I'm gonna give.
Oh, okay.
Let's watch it and see what people think. Let's see if this could actually get me to go see this movie or rent it. Here we go.
Okay, no, I'd love to.
Here we go. Yeah, let's take a look. We can play these on the show, I found out. I love it already.
Should I give you to him? Should I take you myself? I could use the practice.
He kills girls and videotapes it. It's his thing.
You told me this guy was dead. Dead guys don't just get up. They sure as hell don't keep killing people.
I know what this guy does, all right? Girl doesn't have very long.
He's a monster.
Oh, they're coming to get me. I love you so much. No, don't you hang up. My daughter's alive. Stop it. Oh. What do we do now?
Try not to die.
Jason, no! Run!
Hollis.
Put it down!
Mask. It's intimidating. It's the man behind it.
I don't know, man. I couldn't watch that. I don't think I'd be interested. You know what I really like? The movies that were really good were even the 6 and 7. I think that came out with 7. The Saw movies.
Oh yeah,
like 5 of those. I think.
With another one.
Those were pretty good. I like them, even though the later ones were a little weird, not really great, but they were still good. Better than the other stuff I saw coming out.
Oh yeah. Well, that's James Wan who did The Conjuring. He's responsible for the Saw movies. But anyways, yeah, they're coming out with another Saw movie. It's called Spiral.
Spiral.
Yeah,
but okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's called Spiral. Hey, while you're at it, Rich, check out Terrifier.
Okay.
I think you'll like that one.
Yeah, let me pull that up. Terrifier. Let's pull this up here. Oh, that's us.
You'll love the clown.
Terrifier. Terrorizer? No. Terrifier. Here it is. Well, there's part 2.
Yeah.
Not part 1, 2.
Well, part
either
one. Either one.
All right, here we go. Let's
You'll like
do
it.
2. This is a minute and a half. We'll take a look at Terrifier. This is the official trailer in 3, 2, English.
So what are your plans tomorrow?
To kill. Oh, hello. Damn. Gotta have the big breasts.
Guy's still out there. What's up with you and this clown all of a sudden? You're like obsessed. They never found his body. What if he decides to come back here? I wouldn't worry about it. On the off chance that he is still alive, I'm sure he's gone far away from here.
Wow, that's creepy. That's cool. That doesn't look half bad.
Oh, I know.
He's pretty creepy. Reminds me of a little bit of Freddy, but with the hello.
And he's a little bit of Michael because he doesn't talk.
Oh, okay.
He sits there and smiles at you.
Another thing, there's something else that just came out today. I don't know if you heard about it, but let me pull it up. Yeah, it just came out before we started the show tonight. And I was going to do this intro, but I was told I couldn't, but they're allowing me to play it. So I've got it here, and here it is. You guys won't see it yet.
An estimated 125.
Hold on. Yeah, here it is. This is it. So I want to introduce, these are friends of mine. You may know who they are. And here we go. 3, 2, go. It just came out today. Dropped. And I'm dropping the ball. Can you see it now?
An estimated 125 to 150 million Americans watched the Apollo 11 moon landing.
Buckle up. Third Phase of Moon.
Yeah.
New album, Behind the Veil, is now available worldwide with the original song like Going to the Moon.
Going to rise. Yeah.
The American flag on the moon. It had to be understood in the context of the Cold War as our delayed answer to the Russians sending a satellite into space first.
Are you ready for the Men in Black? They're out to get you if you're not careful.
There's really no escape, no matter what you do. The Men in Black keep coming back and watching over you. You take the hills and I'll just keep this dusty road. Let's get out together while keeping our mouths closed.
Oh, man.
Who's ready for the countdown to disclosure?
Go, but that don't mean that the curtain is closed. We've got a long way to go. This is the countdown to the show. Open your mind. Next reveal is our wildest fantasy. watch for the signs. They're in front of our face, an open space for all to see.
Going deep into the mystery of the Majestic 12. Pulse-pounding, get-you-dancing music.
All right. How close do they keep the secret to the breast? That's not to say they were all right. How long would they keep the secret to the breast?
Who's ready to go for a ride with Meta Propulsion?
Is at the forefront, chemical injections needed, but not from this world of research. It's what they will call it, and never let you see any results. Yeah, we're using electromagnetic fields. There's something out there with us.
12 brand new songs available right now on all audio streaming platforms like iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify,
Who would have thought?
iHeartRadio, and TikTok, and much, much more. Check out the link to the entire album right now. The link is in the description below. Third Phase of Moon, Behind the Veil. Get ready to take off to another dimension.
There's Michael. Isn't that amazing? Can you believe they made an album and videos? Third Phase of Moon still going strong. That's crazy. Yeah, there they are in the chat. Orlando, that was their best friend from the high school days, on the drums. Michael singing, Cousins Brothers on guitars, and Michael's on guitars too. It's amazing, but we'll talk about that later on. Thanks for letting me play that. I had to drop it because it was dropped just before the show, and I wanted to do it as an intro for the show, but one of the songs had to be changed out, so I just
no problem at all.
That's amazing, though.
Music break.
They we'll talk about it later. I mean, everybody who's been around here knows how it all went down, I think, but it's a really good album that you could use for a lot of different things in the paranormal. I mean, obviously it's about UFOs and Majestic 12 going to the moon. I've watched them from the beginning start all that. Just listening to samples of stuff and what do you think of that? What do you think of this? So interesting. That dropped today. So I just wanted to promote that. I forgot it was like 4 minutes long. I keep thinking it was 2 minutes. It was 4. But anyway, that's out.
E.T. loved it.
E.T. was rocking out. I saw that. I saw him dancing around. I had to put him up on the screen. Yeah, E.T.'s in there too, man. You can see him dancing around in one of those videos. They've made full videos as well. So, wow. It's been a long time. I've been waiting for that for a couple months. Can't believe it's out. But what do you got coming out? Anything new?
Oh, yeah. I've actually started work on Symphony of Death Part 5, which is Anniversary. It's going to be a great story about a guy who decides that he wants to bring back his ex-girlfriend who cheated on him and get revenge because he had caught her and wanted to torture her, but she died before he could. She had
I think you told me about this. Yeah, I remember hearing about this.
But one of the more interesting parts of it is the prologue story that I'm currently working on right now, which is called Demons of Hell. And the thing is that it's an important addition to Symphony of Death because it explains the subtext of the series. The reason for the Symphony of Death and all that. And this story takes place in hell itself, and the main character is the head torture demon of hell.
Okay, I see. All right, so he does all the torturing for hell. Yeah, I got it. All right, well, somebody's got to take charge of that place, right? Hell's a bad place to be. I think AC/DC said hell ain't a bad place to be.
Oh, hell is hell, believe me. The thing was that part of the thing that inspired me to do this was I actually read Clive Barker's The Scarlet Gospels, and in that book, it's supposed to be about this detective that chases Pinhead into hell and goes on a quest
from
to stop
Hellraiser.
Pinhead.
Yeah. Wow, I like that. Pinhead was fun.
And the thing is that the hell that Clive Barker created for it, it wasn't hellacious. I was very disappointed.
It was a maze, right? It was like you can never get out.
No, he didn't even do Leviathan at all.
No, we did see some of it. We saw some of it
in the movies,
in the movies.
In Clive Barker's books,
okay,
he decided that he was going to change it. So the place, hell in Clive Barker's Scarlet Gospels could be Narnia, it could be Lord of the Rings, it could be anything. It was very boring.
I tell you what I don't want to see anymore. I don't want to see that somebody finds a mask or a glove or a cube. I'm tired of people finding these artifacts that give them powers. I want some originality, man. Why is this so hard? I don't get it. I think a lot of things get turned down from the Hollywood elites.
Pretty much.
It's not right, man.
Pretty much they like what they know. And so a lot
what they know they can make money on. No, they like what they know they can make money on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, with me and Symphony of Death, I mean, I give you a whole variety of stuff. I actually do in Anniversary, I do have a book. A resurrection book, but that's not the main
but
thing.
That's kind of cool. I like that in a way. But that was done in The Mummy. The Mummy, they did that, but that's just The Mummy raising the dead. But I don't know, man. I'd like to see some originality in movies. I don't have time to read. I just want to get in and out 2 hours. Reading takes a lot of time, and it hurts my eyes.
Well, that's why I do audiobooks too.
Audiobooks rock. I love audiobooks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love them. I put them in when I drive, and then I listen to it the next time I drive and whatnot. So we're just about out of time here. So where do you live, man? Facebook, Twitter, where do we go to find your stuff?
Oh, you can find me on Facebook under William Pattison, on Amazon, where you can buy my books. It's Amazon/author/William Pattison with no break on it. And then also, if you want to go to my website, it's authorericmorse.weebly.com.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for now. Just for people here, we're not done yet. We still have a little bit of show to go over, but our interviews only go for about an hour and a half now, but give or take a few minutes. But I want to thank you for coming on. It was a weird interview today. It just felt different than our other ones. What?
It was more organic. It's more like the interviews
I think it was.
that I do.
Yeah, I think it was. It was good. It was great. I appreciate you coming on. I'd like to have you on, regularly, if I could say that word. It's one of the hardest words for me to say. But we need to have you on more. And I'm glad that things are going well. How's your cat?
Cat's dead.
What? Did I miss something?
Yeah, Balcazar died
a year ago? Don't say a year ago.
Year and a half.
What? How come I don't know about this?
Actually, almost 2 years now.
I'm sorry. I don't remember.
He actually died of old age. He was 16 years old.
So he died in 2019?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when Angus died, my dog. He was 15.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
I think I'm remembering now something about it. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Did you got? Oh yeah, you got the kitty. Don't you have a new kitty?
My niece has a kitty.
Oh, she's got it. Okay. It's hard to remember everybody, man. I'm sorry.
The cat loves me.
Yeah, that's because
I'm the one that half the time feeds the cat, and then she's also got a pit bull puppy.
Aw.
That drives me nuts because it's like my niece she got the puppy, and then it's like, oh, my sister and I have to take care of the puppy, and it messes me up when I'm trying to write, because then I end up having to write from like midnight till 4 a.m.
That's when I thrive, man. I'm a night owl now. I always have been, but now I'm literally sleeping during the day. Well, thanks again, man. It was a great time as always, and I appreciate your friendship and everything else. So, hey, can you send me the links so I can put them in the description so people can?
Sure, no problem.
I forgot to ask for that, but thanks again, Eric Morse, aka William Pattison. Thanks again, my friend. Good to see you, and take care.
Keep America strong. Watch horror films.
Exactly. All right, man. We will. We'll try. I'll try. Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Catch you later.
Yeah, that was fun. That went by really fast. That went by super fast. Yeah, remember in the old days, we used to do the interviews for like 2-3 hours. But I don't think the same way. So that was good. I'm glad he came on, and it's been a long time. So check out Eric Morse, aka William Pattison. He's a real good guy. He's a good person. It's hard to find good people, and he's a good person. That's why we've been friends a long time. I can't believe I don't remember his cat dying, but now I kind of have a little bit of it. I think maybe because when Angus passed away, somebody sent me, I don't remember who it was, sent me a link. I think it was Mr. Catfish. Sent me a link to the show I did where Angus passed away. That like there was the next day or something. And I was listening to that. I'm like, oh my God, that was totally different. It was weird to watch. I got to tell you, I had to turn it off. Weird. Hey, Mr. DB Cooper, thank you. Oh, you guys jumped up on me in the chat. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. It says, thank you, Eric. Thank you, Mr. DB Cooper, super generoso. And everybody else who gave some super chats, thank you very much. During the show, while he was speaking, I couldn't interrupt. And, there's only certain ways you could interrupt. But thank you for the super chats on that. And Third Phase of Moon now has the album dropped, as you saw. And I have to tell you, it's really good. It's entertaining. The videos are fantastic. And I'm glad that finally dropped today. So you guys can check that out on Spotify and iTunes and all over the place. It's really good. So check it out. It's great for ufology. I know that. All those songs have to do with what we talk about. Which brings me to the last part of the show, which is I was not on it. I was listening to Truth Seekers today with Steve Cambion. And he was Wilcock, I think. He was talking about David Wilcock, but he had a mask on that was Satan Wilcock, I think. No, it was Wilcock, but he just looked like the devil. And it was rather interesting and fun. And I appreciate somebody doing things that I like to do. And seeing him with the mask on, doing the voice, acting like Wilcock. You guys should check out Truth Seekers. It's a good time over there. And he's got all sorts of guests on, people that I should have on. I know Alien Scientist goes over there, and some other folks. I saw some of you over there earlier tonight. Hey, IR Film with a super chat. Love the interviews there, Rich. Thank you very much for that $5 super chat. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to be getting into interviews more. And I like doing them and I don't like doing them. The reason I don't like doing them because there's other stuff that I want to talk about. and it's like, all right, I'll have a guest on tomorrow maybe or the next day, and then something new will pop up. But I really like the fight. Oh, thank you, by the way. Super Generoso IR Film, $5 super chat goes right back into the kitty. I got a donation today. I want to show you guys what the donation is. So hold on. I forgot to bring it over here. As a matter of fact, hold on one second. Let me see. I have something here I want to play. Anyway, this was Mick West talking to Stephen Greenstreet about the Navy footage and the pyramids. You know what I'm talking about? That crap from Corbell. I want you to hear what he said. As a matter of fact, and then there's a Dr. Michio Kaku clip I got to play as well. Hold on a second here. Let's get this up over there. See, the computer switched everything again. It does it. I don't know why. All right. Yeah, let me just grab this thing. Hold on. I want to play this for you, though. I want to listen with you. So I'm not allowed to say who sent it because they don't want anybody to know who sent this to me, but I really needed it. And I talked about it a few times and it showed up today. And it is the DJI Osmo, the OM4. It is, you put your phone in there and it stabilizes it. It's a gimbal and it does all sorts of stuff. It has tracking on it. Quick roll. It's foldable. It's got a magnetic thing. You just put it on the thing and the camera spins and twists and does a lot of stuff. It can follow you. So thank you for donating that. That's going to get used tomorrow. So yeah, I got it right before the show. So I was excited about that. A little bit before. It was sitting at the front door. I'm like, I got an email and says, oh, this is at your front door. I'm like, what? Somebody's going to steal it. All right, here we go. I'm playing this. It's Mick West. He's kind of like my new hero, but not really. I just like that he got so much attention as much as the video itself.
So a little over a week ago, filmmaker, UFO believer Jeremy Corbell posted, to his social media this green night vision footage of a triangle. The story behind that was claimed behind it was that it was these pyramid-shaped UFOs flying over the U.S. Navy. And of course, it went worldwide, super viral. You looked into it. What did you find?
Well, the first thing I noticed about it was the flashing. And if you look at the video, you see it's kind of flashing. And it's not flashing at a regular.
That's not me. I don't know what's going on. The magic of poppin' fresh dough. I hate commercials.
Right into it. So,
but it really reminded me of the flashing lights of a plane. And I looked into that and I found there are actually some planes that have a sequence of lights that flashes just like that. There's a long sequence overlaid a short sequence. So I looked at the video and thought, aha, that's a plane.
Yeah, and it's probably safe to say that if it was an intergalactic spacecraft, it wouldn't be carrying lights that are FAA compliant, right?
Yes, you would think an alien spaceship wouldn't want to be seen, but what we got to go here is the simplest explanation, and really the simplest explanation is that just a plane. It moves like a plane, it acts like a plane.
It's a duck.
You can even go in and you can calculate how fast it's moving. If you assume it's a plane at 33,000 feet, you can calculate its angular velocity from the information that's available with the positions of the stars. And you can see it's a bit less than 1 degree per second, which translates to about 400 to 450 knots, which is the exact same speed that the planes in that region were flying at that time. That's the speed that they fly over that area.
It's amazing.
Los Angeles. So in every way, it matches a plane. And then from there, I thought, well, if it's a plane, how can it be triangular? And what immediately leapt out to me there was that there are other things in the video that are also triangular. Towards the end of the video, there's 2 lights which are triangle shaped. So I thought, you see this type of thing when a video is out of focus. You often see the lights in the background take on the shape of the aperture of the camera, like the shape of the iris in the camera.
Bokeh.
And some cameras have a triangular iris. And so if that happens, if you have a camera that's a bit out of focus, it's got a triangular iris, then you're going to get these triangular shapes. And these are called bokeh. And it's a well-known thing in photography. And then I looked into it a little bit more, and I kind of analyzed exactly what was going on. And I found that these 2 lights that were in the scene were actually 2 stars. And you can see that by kind of tracing from the start of the video, because at the start of the video, it shows a little constellation, which you can identify as being Jupiter and Arcturus, I think, and a few other stars. Fits perfectly. You take that setting and then you kind of follow the camera as it moves around, and where it ends up is these 2 stars called Ocab and Ocab Borealis. They're just 2 fairly ordinary innocuous stars. And once you know where that is, and you know that those actually are stars, the fact that they're stars that appear as triangles means that the moving, flashing thing that appears as a triangle isn't actually a triangle, it's a point of light or a couple of points.
All right, we get it, right? So don't you think it's time? Okay, it's time. Jeremy Corbell has got to come out and finally say that he made a mistake, that he got overexcited, and his ego told him he can't take it back, but he fought his ego, and the ego lost. Wouldn't that be great if he came out and said that? There's nothing wrong with being wrong. That's the whole thing. And I think we need Jeremy Corbell to do that, to actually come out and say that he was wrong. That would really help ufology in a big way. That somebody, that the illusion that he's somebody in ufology says they made a mistake. How many times does that happen? Exactly. It never does. These guys never admit when they're wrong. Never. Benji Yorkshire, UK. Thank you for the super sticker for $1.99. I appreciate that. Super, super, super generoso. Thank you, man. You guys are awesome. Goes right back into the kitty. The chair fund. The double humidifiers. But I think it's time that Jeremy Corbell, and I think he should. I think he should. And what that would do, that would make him look like a freaking stud if he did that and said, I made a mistake. I did. I'm sorry. I let my emotions get the best of me. There's nothing wrong with that. Wouldn't you forgive him? I would forgive him. But he's really got a day or two left before I care anymore. You know what I mean? It's like if he doesn't do it really soon, then he's just a shyster head. Hey, Misty OC Dragons, if it looks like a duck and walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's obviously a weather balloon or swamp gas. Exactly. For a $5 super chat, worth every single cent. That was cool. And then you got the duck, the balloon, and a puff of smoke out the ass. Very good. Thank you, Super Generoso, and very funny. Yeah, I say that all the time. If it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it's not a UFO. It's very frustrating. But if you think Jeremy Corbell can be forgiven, then he needs to come out, I think, in the next day or two. He has to the end of the week, Friday. That's it. And after that, and by the way, he didn't get back to me. Let's check the emails right now. Maybe he did. Maybe he got back and I just didn't see it. He promised, no, he didn't. He promised he was going to come on the show if I remove the audio. Well, guess what? If I don't hear back from him by Friday, that audio is going back up because you made a deal. You made a deal with me. And the deal was I'll email you and you would come on the show and we'd talk. No, he didn't. And I stick to my deals. I took his audio out. It's not right. You know, a guy who can't keep a promise, who puts up fake videos, not fake, but not UFO videos and calls them UFOs and goes on CNN and lies about it. That's the character of Jeremy Corbell in a nutshell. That's really him. He is all about him. And I think the theme of the week is egos. It's egos. And I said I'm going to keep talking about it every single day because people need to know. And you may be sick of hearing me talk about it. I'm sick of me talking about it, but we got to keep talking about it. We got to let the public know, even as little a channel as we are, we got to let people know. You just can't lie. You can't. And if he doesn't understand that that is not a UFO or a pyramid, then something's wrong. Something's wrong. And I don't think something's wrong with the guy. I don't know if I could play TMZ. Can I? Michio Kaku says new UFOs, a sign of highly advanced aliens, possibly. Well, let's take a look. We'll fair use the crap out of this. I'll take the chance. I don't monetize this show anyway. Hold on, let me put this up. Here we go. In 3, 2.
I think it can no longer be ruled out, the question of extraterrestrial visitation. It used to be that only crackpots, hoaxsters, and people who saw something because they were in a drunken haze, they were the people that most people thought were the ones saying that they encountered a flying saucer. I think we have to take them seriously.
All right. Well, I fair used it. So there, I should be okay. I only used half of what I'm allowed. It's Michio Kaku now, who thinks we need to start paying attention to the public, not just the government, the public, the public, the public. We are the answer. We are disclosure. No matter how much I think disclosure is never going to happen, disclosure will happen. The only way it'll happen is by you and me. That's the only way, unless the aliens make themselves present, which is what Greer thinks is going to happen, which is why this false flag alien invasion may be part of the UAPs are a threat. It may be that's why. UAPs aren't a threat. The threat is Corbell, Elizondo. Today, somebody was saying how Elizondo really is the leader of ufology. I'm like, oh my God, what is wrong with people? Elizondo gives us zero. I know, I say it all the time, but he does. He gives us nothing. Nothing. Oh, what is this? B. Baker? Oh, I got to play this. This is the best evidence I've ever seen of multiple Martian cities. Wow. Please not 3-minute through to, okay. It's worth it, he says, to watch this. Then go to the 11. Okay. Wow. Let's see where this comes from. B. Baker. Oh, it's from Mars Anomalies and Beyond. I can play this. Oh, thank you, B. Baker. Oh, this is a great way to end the show tonight. 15 minutes left. Let's do this. Oh my God, I can't believe this is B. Baker getting excited gets me excited. All right, just start at the 3-minute mark. Right around there. All right. So we have permission granted as long as I put the links into the chat room and forward it back to Chris from Mars Anomalies and Beyond. Here we go.
Photoshop.
Thanks,
You can
B.
see
Baker.
at the top of the screen, I did rotate it 167 degrees clockwise, and for good reason. We're going to start here in the lower right corner.
This is Mars?
And then we're going to work our way up. We're going to call it the coastline here.
What?
And see if there's anything of any value. Now, do you guys see anything in here that's
I see a
worth even
boat.
noticing?
I see boat
First thing I noticed was everything down here. Look at these objects right here.
Oh, wow.
I don't have to do a thing to this photo. This is the original photo. And yet, I could see what looks like rectangular pieces side by side. Right here. Side by side.
I don't understand.
All of these pieces in here, look at it all. There's no way that Mother Nature's going to do this, okay? Just not going to happen. Now, again, are the compression artifacts? I don't know. I'm not seeing any of it here. I'm seeing what looks like natural landscape until you start getting closer and closer to the edge right here, okay? Now, is this blue and is this actually brown, or is this all one color? And what I'm about to show you is cities galore, okay? Watch this. Let's do this.
Wait a second. What's happening?
Now, let's slowly get into this. This is cool. You notice these are starting to show up a lot more.
Holy crap.
Right here. Look at this.
Wow.
And it happens to be all lined up.
Oh, my God.
Look at these two right here.
Look at this.
Just the pieces sticking out.
Look
Now,
at this.
You can see some of the curvatures of some of the pieces doing this. Check that out. Again, we're trying to bring out this area right here.
Why is it blue?
As well as other pieces all in here. You're going to see what looks like a round piece here. You can see it now.
Yeah.
The center piece.
Looks like a dome.
And what's even more cooler is there's actually a tower. And you won't be able to see it right now. Here's the top of it with the opening.
What? I don't know.
Round piece. And you're going to see it almost has like a base and a square base underneath. So let's jump right into that.
All right. Here we go.
Right here. Ready?
Yeah.
Now, check out some of the things that are in this area alone. Just these alone. Check out the landscape.
Wow.
Check out the structures, the different pieces.
What?
Stuff you would not expect to see
on Mars
in natural landscape. Here's our tower right there. It's coming straight up. You can see it like this. Rounded. And of course, it's dark at the top. It's round at the bottom, of course, and there's a square base to it. Now check that out. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Right here. There's the tower. Guys, check this stuff out.
I want to
This
see
is cool.
clear.
And this is not even the half of it. It just only gets better.
Oh,
It just
okay.
gets better and better as we go along. Now, to me, this doesn't look natural. This looks like a city. Again, we can go on this coastline over here, and we can see these things right here. And look at the shape of these things right here. Look at the actual shapes and these rectangular pieces sitting on the side of each other. They're adjacent to one another, smaller, larger ones, different structure sizes. Look at this. Again, just have a look at all of these pieces. Now, keep in mind, these are not going to be super clear because it's meant to be hidden. Again, if we were just to go back just like this, it's nowhere to be found, right? And yet, you can see this.
But why is it blue?
This piece right here, most of it, this round piece.
What's up, Lisa?
Is right there, right? And again, we have our tower. other round structures right there. And all of these other, like I pointed out earlier, all of these other weird structures, guys, just get out your magnifiers. If you can't see it very well and you're on your phones, you're going to want to check this stuff out, especially as we go up this coastline. And let's have a look at some of these other pieces right here. Giant globe type spherical in a giant forest, and we're seeing bits and pieces of it peeking out like over here. Or is this mostly manipulation overlaid the real?
I'm confused.
Check this item right out right here.
Oh,
this is cool. Right here.
Whoa,
actually,
look
multiple
at this.
Pieces right here. Look at the ground.
What the
below
hell?
It, right here. You guys see that?
That's the best thing I've ever seen on
This
Mars.
to me is just confirms. Look at the landmass, or the way this thing was designed. Looks like you got two very large pieces standing up.
What the hell?
And you can see there's a crease down there, so you can see this is rather tall.
That's insane. Yeah. Look at this. There's a square inside of this, like it's cut out. This is insane.
No way is that natural. Look at it all.
I
really
don't
know
know
how high this is up, right? It doesn't state it in there. Now, let's keep going.
All right.
Oh, this even gets better.
Okay.
Absolutely a city.
Wow.
Cities along this. Towns. Call it what you will. I don't care. No matter how you look at it, this is civilization that was here on Mars.
This is unbelievable.
And only in my opinion do I believe that this is absolute proof of it. Now, let's go even a step better. Let's go ahead and sharpen it and have another look.
You know, I was thinking
Again,
the same
look at the
thing
stuff here
Tim.
On the coastline. Some of this is really bright, and I try to bring it down.
I was thinking the same thing, but then you see a couple of things that are dome-ish. I forget where the ball was. It's like down here, you know, there's some things that are rounded. And I know this can happen in nature, but even this here, it looks like there's a ball and some stairs. I don't know, man. I really don't. What it's like, how come we're just seeing this now when people have been all over Mars for a couple of years minimum? But I mean, Richard Hoagland was showing us stuff back in the 90s. So it makes me wonder, why has this stuff never been seen before?
Guys, this is cool.
It is
Absolutely
cool.
I told you I had a mind-blowing one coming up. This one here is just awesome.
Yeah, look at this. Like, this looks like some sort of figure-8 tower. This is so weird, Tim.
This to me is this absolute smoking gun of a civilization on Mars.
No, smoking
like
gun
I said,
is seeing actual furniture and stuff like that. This is just smoking or a gun.
I've done this, I think it was in 2014. Now, mostly that was in the blue area and not so much the edge of, we're going to call it the ground, and we'll call that water just for craps and giggles, right? But
this is amazing.
I decided
right
to do
here.
this a little bit more and check that out. It looks like city blocks to me. It looks like you can travel in between these areas.
It does. It really does. Look at this. Separating the homes, I mean, or whatever. It's really, really, really cool. I don't know what this is, but, you know, you have this squared out, you know, this is squared off. Wow. You know, I don't want to play too much, you know, I know I played a lot already, but we're allowed to. I just feel bad doing it. But this is pretty cool stuff. It's one of the best I've ever seen.
What's the chances of everything being lined up like this? And you can see these things have several different heights. Well, you can see like squares, the smaller ones down here, larger ones here, and it looks like this one's brighter and it's higher up. And
this looks like a triangular craft right here.
You can see what looks like structures down in between. Okay. So, again, I try to bring this out as much as I could, or bring the brightness down on these. This is why you get that weird, funky look to that. What I did was I tried to just...
That is really wicked cool. That is unbelievable, B. Baker. That is wild. I don't know. I have a hard time with Mars and the moon. I always have. But I'm open-minded that there was life there. But don't you think it would have to be there? You know what? We're lied to all the time. So I was going to say, don't you think, if nobody's been there for 3 billion years, all that stuff would be gone by now. But yeah, I don't know. Tomorrow, we're going to have a really interesting show. Some body language stuff that we're going to look at, and hopefully we won't be in trouble for it. What else tomorrow? I still have stuff I wanted to talk about with Bledsoe and David Wilcock. I want to talk about that. So anything that I played after Eric being on the show will be in the description. Oh, here's a little something I wanted to play for you. This is interesting. Child on Hume Highway captures moment a child appears on a dark highway. This is pretty interesting. Watch this. I can't explain this one. Really. There he is. Now that's either fake or it's really there on the highway when this guy's driving by. It looks fake. It does. It really does. It looks totally fake. I mean, so how they came up with this being a child, I don't know, but it looks like a doctor wearing his smock, and he even has a headlamp on and a mask. I don't know why they're calling that a child, but I don't know. It looks real, but it looks fake. You know what I mean? It just appears. See, that's what's weird about ghosts and stuff. They appear in ways that we can't explain. I don't understand it. It's a really bizarre world we're living in. Anyway, it is what it is, right? All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. We're going to get going. So we'll be back tomorrow, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, right here on YouTube. Thank you, moderators and super chatters. Thank you for that support and your time. And newbies and veterans alike, thanks for giving the show at least a minute. Hopefully tomorrow you'll come back. I don't know where everybody was tonight. We were like 30 to 40 people less than we normally are. Really weird. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. So, as you know, if you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. And I got a video coming up later on Third Phase UFO Report. Good night, everybody. And congratulations, Third Phase of Moon. Can't believe that album is out now. Check that out.
Yes, I am. Well, I'm not. I don't care if he does find me gone. But how? Frida, I beg you, think about what you're doing. Everyone says he's a wicked man. What about him? Who wants to be good if being good is singing hymns and praying all day long? He's doing what's best for us, I'm sure. It might be best for you. It's not for me. I'm going, and you might as well stop arguing about it. And I warn you, if you dare tell on me, Frida, you know I wouldn't do that. know what will happen if you do. Stop it, you're hurting me, Ralph.